So let's get started in the client tutorial client underscore tutorial.lua. So first, let us start with actually writing the start of it. So what you need to do is say local AIO equals AIO or require, and then in here AIO. So what we are gonna do here is that we require the AIO server here, so we can actually use the AIO toolset to activate and stuff. Now, what you want to do is say if AIO.addon, and then we do like this, and then end. And here you just write return, like that. So what this does is that it adds the add-on to the client, because this is the client. So it sends this add-on to the client and register it. Now we want to say local my handlers. This is just the name for our handlers. Set it equals to AIO.my, not my handlers, add handlers. In here, we want to give this add-on we are working with a name. This way AIO knows that all of the handles we are adding here, so all the functions and stuff, is connected to this add-on and not a bunch of other, like if we have 20 different AIO scripts running, so 20 different scripts running and talking to AIO and such, but the add handlers make sure that, okay, it knows this is the tutorial, so let's call this just a tutorial, like that. So when we add here, it knows to add to the tutorial one and not to the 1, 2, 3, 4 test one. Next, comma, and then just the code brackets like we normally do. So what this basically is just a table with all our functions. So now we want to go ahead and create a frame. A frame is in WoW, when I typed the command, you saw it open a box. That's a frame. So let's start with that. So let's say frame equals create frame. Here we give it a name, frame, comma, or this is the type. Sorry, that's the type we want to create, comma, frame test. This is just the name. Then it should be a parent or a child under UI parent, and then comma again. And then we want to use the template of UI panel dialog template. A way to find all this, because now we created our frame, the way to find all of what I'm showing off here is basically going to go, either you can go to something like WoW-main, which is a server running on the Let's Clicking client, download add-ons, and then have a look inside them and see how they make the frames and stuff. The next thing you can do is actually go here under the Wayback Machine, because this website is shut down now. What you can do is you can go under here. I will leave a link down in the description, so don't worry about it. But here you can find all the functions. So let's see. Done. Create frame. So you can see here it creates a new frame object, so you can find all the API for creating the UI and stuff. So we can click on it here to read a little more about it. So here you see the frame type, then the name assigned to the newly created object, then the parent that it's connected to, and the template. So you see here, if we want to make a button, we would need to use this. So let's head back into our code. Here we want to write frame colon set size, and I want it to be 200 comma 200. Then I want to say let's say frame set point. Oh my god, I can't spell today. Point. And then say center. And now you want to say frame height. Reason we're doing this is because here at the moment this will run as soon as the server and the client logs in. And if you don't say a height, it will show the frame instantly. And we don't want that. Next up, we want to make a function just to show the frame function. And here, what you want to do now, because we want to add this function to the my handlers, we would actually write my handlers dot show frame. And here, it's important you always give the player, even if it's not used inside the function, it needs to know the player table. So this is the player object. When we write the server, this will make much more sense, but we need to always send the player with it. Otherwise it doesn't know which player it should actually open the frame for. So here, what we want to do inside here is basically just say frame show. And that's all. Now we show the frame when we call this function. The next thing is we want to create the button. So say button. And now we want to say create frame, because for some reason the WoW API is also named create frame for creating something like buttons. So here we want to say that this is a type of button, uppercase, yeah, that comma, and we want to call it button test. And here now, instead of actually setting it to be the type of, or the being connected to the UI parent, we want to create this button and set it to be a child of the frame we created. So we want to write frame instead. And now let's set the button size. Button size. Here is 130. That's what I want my button to be. Then say point, or button, sorry. Set point. And here in here, say center, comma, frame, because this is our frame, comma, center. Now say button enable mouse through, like that. And now we want to set up the text. So what we need to do, or let's set up the, let's actually set up the script for unmouse up. So button set script here on mouse up, and all of this, all of what I'm writing here, you can find under the documentation I showed you. So here we say comma, and then we say function, So we are creating a function here. And inside this function, when you do it like this, you don't need to give the function a name. So inside here, we want to say input colon clear focus. Clear focus. And say end. Now we want to make the texture. So we want to say texture equals button colon create texture. Here I want to say this should be just the name of texture test. Then texture colon set all points. Here we want to say that should be the button. Texture colon set texture. In here we want to say .5 or 0.5, sorry. Colon 1 colon 1 colon 0.5 or .5. Yes. Next we want to set the normals. So we want to say button this time colon set normal texture. And in here we set the texture. So now we set the texture on the button. And the last thing we'll do for today is just making the local, or not local, sorry, font string equals button colon create font string. In here we want to write font test, just give it a name here. Here font string equals, or not equals, sorry, font string colon set font. Here fonts, and then two backspace or two backflashes, and here FRI set QT underscore dot PDF. Then outside of the colons, the double quotes, sorry, you say comma 11 for the size, or the text size, comma outline, comma monochrome. This is just to get the font that I used for the example. Next line, say font string colon set shadow offset. Here -1, oh sorry, 1 comma -1. And now button colon set font string. In here we want the font string to set the font, and then we already set let me just check here. Yes, now let's just write the text. So button set text colon hello, I am a button. Awesome, now we created a button. So let's do the last things for today. So local function, and in here unclick button. Here it's the button as the argument, and now AIO.handle, and in here what you want to write here is, again, what we're doing here is that when you click the button, you tell the script here to, so when you click the button, it sends this command to AIO .handle, and then we tell it we want to talk with this AIO we have instantiated here. So it's the tutorial name it should find the AIO on. And then we want to write print, because this print is the function name we will create in our server_tutorial Lua file later. Now we write comma again, and the message should be hello from button click. And now that's over. Next or last thing to do is actually when we want to actually do something when we click the button. So say set script. Here you want to write on click. So this is an event for all buttons. So on click, do something. So comma here, and that will be on click button. So now when we click the button, we call this function and we tell AIO to send this out to the AIO. Talk to the tutorial handler or the tutorial AIO we have instantiated. Tell it to run the print function, and then hello from button click. So that's all for today. And we just got done with our client tutorial script. So I'll see you tomorrow in the next video.